This is Julian, and I'm here in Zurich, Switzerland. And what we're going to do in this video here is jump right into a segment from last night's live event on the topic of fame. On being famous, being cool, being popular. It has such an appeal, doesn't it? Being famous. The one thing we're all after, this approval, this validation, thinking that it will bring us salvation, when in reality, it won't. Okay, being famous, being popular will not save you. Here is why.
Anyone not want to be popular? Anyone not want to be like, oh shit, there's that guy? Anyone not want to dominate a room where you walk in and people just silence the fuck up like, oh, there he is. There she is. No one want that? No? Do you think that's the solution to your problems? You feel like shit? What if the world thinks you're a fucking god? Huh? You get so much approval. What's a little disapproval here and there? Right now, you're a fucking nobody walking down the street. Someone stares at you. Oh, look at that shitty shirt. Ah, kills you. But, because no one else loves you. But say everyone else loves you and one person's like, ooh, shitty shirt, doesn't matter, right? Huh? No? No one's after that? Really? Bullshit. Bullshit, you're all after that. Everyone wants to be cooler. That's why you're here. For real. Okay? For me, since I can fucking remember, I always wanted to be cool. You watch movies, you want to be the popular person, the popular kid. The cool kid, the main person. You don't want to be number two. Anyone here want to be fucking number two?
Hello.
No? You want to be fucking at the bottom? You want to have no friends? You're like, yes. It's like, that's me. Yes, I've settled with that. No, everyone wants popularity. This is what drove me, by the way, for quite some time. You know, someone's asking me, like, what about tough times? It's like, I wanted to fucking make it. I wanted respect. I wanted validation. I wanted approval, and I would do whatever the fuck it took to get there. That was my salvation. Why? Because I thought if enough people loved me, as I jokingly said about this shirt, which isn't that bad. You're like crying, like, damn it. I've thought for many days what I'm going to wear to this event, and I've decided it was that shirt. Not only will, say, a little person's opinion not affect me because I have so much love, but guess what? If so many people love me, thousands of people, millions of people love me, perhaps, just perhaps, I could finally love myself. Okay? And what I'm going to tell you here, and this is the first topic, is it won't save you. You will not love yourself. In reality, it'll make things a lot worse. That doesn't mean that pursuing, say, popularity or fame is bad. No, in reality, it's a great tool to spread a great message if your message is great. But if you're doing it for the reasons of, say, trying to change self-hate, trying to achieve enough, trying to fill that little void you have inside, it's not going to work. Okay? So let's start with the basics here. And you might have seen me talk about this in some other videos, some other events. Why do we seek popularity? Why do we seek approval? Okay? And if you're someone here who's like, you know what, I don't really care about being super famous, you care about approval. Otherwise, you'd have no problem expressing yourself here. No problem expressing yourself in public. You'd feel completely at ease. We all care about approval. We care about everyone's approval. You're in a fucking Uber or a taxi, you care about the fucking driver's opinion, even though you'll never see that person again. You walk down the street, it's like, I've seen this for years, by the way, with, say, guys saying hi to women. It's like, hey, go say hi to her. People are going to see. Who gives a fuck? Are you ever going to see these people again? No. We care about the opinion of fucking everyone, okay? And it goes back to the way that we're conditioned growing up. The way you're raised, okay? You come into a society. You're not alone. There's certain rules. There are certain guidelines. For example, don't whip your dick out right here in public. You know? Is this good, by the way, that there are rules and guidelines in society? Yes, fuck yeah. It'd be a fucking shit show otherwise. Like, for real, who knows what would be happening here in the back, like guys fucking each other, like, who knows? It'd be the worst shit ever. So it's amazing that there are rules and guidelines. However, the way that we're taught these rules and guidelines is we're punished when we disobey, we're punished when we're bad, and we're rewarded when we're good, when we obey the rules. Okay? And your parents will teach you this, teachers will teach you this, society will teach you this, and the intention behind it is good. It's like, fuck, you know, here's my kid. I want my kid to fit into society. I don't want him fucking whipping his dick out in public, ending up in jail. Let's teach him. So as soon as the kid's like, no, you're taught. Keep it in. And the kid's like, no. That is good, okay? The fact that you're teaching the kid not to do that. However, from the kid's perspective, the way the kid will interpret this is, ooh, my parents don't love me right now. That's not true. Your parents love you. But the way we interpret it is they don't love me. Not only that, but because you're a kid and you depend on your parents to survive, if they kick you out in the street, you're fucking dead. It's extremely traumatic. Because that means shit. If they don't love me, they could put me out in the street and I could die. So it becomes a matter of life or death. It's traumatic. You're like, oh my God, let's never do that again. Now that's just one funny example with like the whipping out of the dick, but we do it with everything. You're loud at a restaurant, be quiet. No. You're like, in school, shut up, don't talk back, don't speak. That's a stupid question, you fucking idiot. Now in reality, the way they probably said it is like, no. And we interpret it like, they're hating me, they're yelling at me. And what we do is we create this split within us, where there's the part of us where when we embrace this part, when we are this part, we receive approval. We're rewarded by our parents, by teachers, by society. We're loved, we think. And when we're this part, the loud part, the part that talks back, and a lot of this depends on your environment, you know, growing up. It's unique to you. We're punished, and we think we're not loved. So we create this split within us. We try to get rid of all of this, like that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. And if you think about your self-worth, of course you don't feel like you're good enough. Because from your perspective, due to this conditioning, you think you're only good enough when you're this part of you. But if you're all of you, you're the shitty part too. You're not good. And then you live your life this way. And what we do, and you can consider this like the front that you put on, technically all of this is your ego, but let's just say your ego, is we try to amplify this as a way to compensate for the shit we hate inside of us. We think that, hey, okay, I realize like I have some shit in me that's not good. There's a little defect inside of me, but perhaps if I make more money, it'll compensate for this shit. If I get more approval, it'll compensate for this shit. If I travel more, get cooler friends, get a better house, whatever the fuck it is, eventually I'll overblow and pump up this front that it'll be big enough to outweigh the shit inside of me. However, this strategy doesn't work. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much you compensate for this, you're still compensating for this. This doesn't go anywhere. Okay? And this is the big reason we're all chasing fucking approval. We're chasing approval because, again, we're conditioned that approval equals love, equals will survive, so it's like viewed as oxygen. It's like, I must get approval. It's like fucking gold. Okay? And we're trying to get approval to validate this front. This is why you also feel stifled sometimes expressing yourself, because say you talk to someone, you're like, man, are they going to see through the front? Are they going to see this dark shit inside of me? And then it's like, ooh, I better not let any of this out. So you're constantly monitoring what comes out. And we think that eventually, like, hey, more and more approval. What's the ultimate approval? Get the world's approval. Every fucking human being's approval. And that's why you want to be fucking famous. You think eventually you'll get so much that you'll finally feel like you're enough. Okay? But, and there's a little side note too. This is also reinforced with Instagram nowadays. You know, it's made quite easy to receive approval, and you see it everywhere. So be careful here how you're conditioned by this. You know, you look up on Instagram, and it's continuously telling you that being normal is not good enough. What? You have under 1,000 followers? Pathetic! It's horrible. You know, this actually started back in the day with Facebook friends. You look at people with how many Facebook friends, way back in the day, years ago, and it's like if the person had few Facebook friends, you're like, fucking loser. Absolutely insane. And we do this now, and the bar is raising and raising and raising. Everyone wants to be a fucking influencer, everyone wants fucking thousands of followers, and if you don't have that, if you have an ordinary life, dog shit. Okay? So be aware of this. Be careful not to buy into it. And be careful too in terms of success. This will fuck you up big time because we think that it's all about glory, 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 approval, must be like the Instagram people, and then you can't tolerate being normal, and you can't tolerate the normal parts in your life or the boring grind that goes behind success. We think success is all about glory. Fuck no. What gets you most of the results is the boring work no one knows about. But because it's not on Instagram, we're like, this is shit. Must be on Instagram. Okay, so be careful there. But the reason this won't work, okay, a few things. Although we think that the more love and approval we get, eventually we reach that point where we're good enough, you actually feel worse off. Why? Because you're getting approval, not for being you, but for only being this part of you. So it's making you actually feel shittier and shittier and shittier. There's that saying, I'd rather be rejected for what I am, who I am, than only accepted when I'm being something that I'm not. You guys ever hear this before? Yes. If you're only accepted when you put on a certain front, when you're being fake, if you will, what does that say about who you are? It's shittier and shittier. And the more acceptance you get for that little front, the shittier you feel. It actually amplifies how much this is fucking bad. So we think it'll help, but it won't. And you just feel more and more disconnected from people because like now you got to really maintain this front. And a few other reasons it won't work, and this is something to really reflect on, is we do it to receive love, to receive approval. We do it to feel comfortable, okay? However, ponder on this. The more successful you become, the more popular you become, the cooler you become, the more famous you become, the less comfortable it gets. Think about this. The more you even, say, raise in value, say you become the main person of your group of friends, you think, finally, I'm at the top. I can relax. Fuck no. Now all eyes on you. There's a lot of pressure being at the top. It's not comfortable. No one talks about this, but being successful is not comfortable at all. You want to be comfortable? Don't be successful. Be invisible. What does fame do? What does popularity do? It takes who you are right now, and it blasts you on a larger scale. That's it. So if you're shy right now and you think success will save you, fuck no. You're going to be even more traumatized. You're going to be like, oh my God, now everyone's staring at me and I'm still shy. Now everyone's judging me. You don't want to be popular? I mean, you want to be popular? Get used to being judged. You don't want to be judged? Don't be popular. People are going to fucking judge you. They're going to stare at you. For real. You want to have a lot of followers on Instagram? They're going to judge you. You're going to get a lot of fucking hate. And that's all that fame does. It projects who you are right now in front of the eyes of many, many, many people. That's it. It doesn't change anything inside of you. And now there's a lot of discomfort, a lot of pressure. Okay? Not only that, but people don't tend to be very nice, very kind to people who are popular. No? Because what's the rationale? They can handle it. Not only that, but there's probably a little bit of resentment. It's like, fuck that person. Thinks they're the shit. No? You're not going to be a dick to someone who's not popular. Like, no one walks down and say you see someone kind of in a short corner, a little shy, and you're like, hey, you shy fuck, and walk by. No one does that. No one's going to do that. If you go on someone's Instagram, like you're scrolling through Instagram and you find some Instagram, and you see someone who's kind of shy, but you're like, hey, putting my first picture out, no one's going to diss that person. Like, nice face, fucker. Like, no one. However, look up other people's Instagrams, like Kim Kardashian. You're going to see a lot of fucking hate. Why? Because it's fucking Kim. So you're actually inviting a lot more criticism, a lot more hate. People are not kind to the famous. Just because you're blasted in the eyes of a lot of people too, and a lot of people see you, this doesn't mean that they understand you, okay? Or that they see everything that is you. You're just blasted in front of the eyes. Doesn't mean you're accepted for who you are, okay? So be careful of trying to seek this popularity, being cool, being famous, you know, thinking that it'll fix all your problems. It won't, okay? There's no shortcut to doing what I call the deep work. What is the deep work? Re-owning this. Instead of trying to compensate for it Let go of your resistance to being parts of you. That's how you get what you're after. Okay? It's learning how to love yourself. Not trying to find this shortcut. If everyone loves me, I'll love myself. No. It's not other people that are going to do it for you. It's you with yourself. It's not comfortable. It requires stop this overblowing of the front of the ego. Stop running away from this and instead sink into this and re-own it, including past trauma, going really fucking deep. That's how you do the work. You can't shortcut it. And this applies to validation, but ultimately it applies to everything. Someone who seeks to be successful. It doesn't matter how much success you get, you're still compensating. It doesn't matter how much money you get, you're still compensating. But, here's the one with money, by the way, is you can compensate with more expensive things. Instead of drowning your sorrows with cheap-ass fucking beer from Dene or something, you can get the high-end beer. But you're still chugging beer to drown your sorrows. That's the only difference. Instead of going home and just like, oh, fuck, putting on a shitty TV show on your shitty TV or computer, you can now afford a big screen. That's the only fucking difference. But you still feel shitty inside. Okay? So something to be aware of. The more you realize this strategy is flawed, the less stubborn you are with it, the sooner you can be open to doing the deep work and re-owning this. And as I said before, it doesn't mean don't seek validation or don't seek to put yourself out there. It's a great tool, a great way to spread a great message, okay? But it has to be coming from the right place. And someone asked this before, I believe. It's like, what's an ego-driven goal? And what is a goal that's, say, something beyond yourself? Or what is a great message? Just ask yourself, number one, why are you doing this? How does it feel? If it's a goal that is ego-driven, it's very heavy. You know, it's something where it's like, oh, I'm doing it for the fucking likes, yeah, like that. Versus, I'm doing it to serve humanity. As cheesy as that may sound. Or I'm doing this to raise the vibe of the world, the vibe of the universe. That there, it's not heavy. That there will actually keep you going when you're tired. If it's just for the me, like Gollum style, you're going to get tired very fucking fast. Okay? And another funny way of thinking about this too, this is one, I heard this years ago. I thought it was so on point. It was, say you're in this situation. I think the story was with Katy Perry. Anyone think Katy Perry is hot? Yeah? Who else is hot? Who do you find hot? Like, no one? Who do you find hot? Really? Mila Jovovich. Let's just say that. You have a choice right now. This is how driven you can see you are by, say, approval, validation, fame. Two options. Right now, you and Mila Jovovich, I don't know if I'm saying it, pronouncing it correctly. Mila Jovovich go into a hotel room. Option number one, you guys have a very strong connection. There's massive chemistry, and you just go at it like fucking rabbits all night. Just fucking cementing the moments, like just loving it. But then you leave, and you never see each other again, and no one will ever know about it. You can't tell any of your friends, no one. It'll just be this really epic experience you and her share. Option number two, you go in the hotel room with her, but you can't do anything. You just sit there quietly, and you leave the hotel the next day, and you're allowed to tell everyone that you guys slept together, and she will back it up. She'll say, yep, we did, and you can brag about it. Fucking media's like, this guy fucked her, oh my God. But you actually didn't. Which one would you pick? Anyone who's like, I want the bragging rights. That's what you're run by. Huh? I know someone's like, shit. Something to be aware of.
So if you want to go even deeper on this and learn how to re-own all those aspects you disowned in the past, click the link here below, head to transformationmastery.com, which is a digital program that I created to take you by the hand and do exactly this. This is the deep work I talk about in this video here. This is how you get to the cause. Click the link, and as always, until next time. This is Julian, and welcome to Transformation Mastery.
It was fucking amazing.
This was huge for me. This was so important.
This gave me by far the greatest epiphanies I've ever had.
It just made me finally confront my deepest fears.
And we got like real deep, and I found some issues within myself.
One of the best things I've seen so far in my life.
What you're about to experience going through this program is what completely changed my life on every single level. Okay, be it health, wealth, relationships, higher purpose, you name it. This is the stuff that finally produced that true, long-lasting personal transformation we're all after.